Good evening, good evening, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your Realtor Hugo with another live. Thank you so much for joining me as we discuss the top real estate stories of the week. And today we are going to be on all major platforms. So, as always, feel free and share the live with those that you care for that think might value this type of information. I am your Realtor Hugo Quintanilla, licensed with Long and Foster in Maryland. Hi, how are you? It is Sunday. It is another day to do the good old live. And today we're going to be covering the top real estate stories of the week. So join me as we talk about all the news in the real estate industry. We're going to have some articles on Adam and on NAR. So let's jump into it. Number one for today is going to be Best Days to Sell a Home, May 1st, 2024. And this was published by Adam. This analysis finds that May, February, and April consistently offer the highest premiums for sellers over the past 13 years. Sellers receive a 13.1% premium in May, and the analysis covers the best months and days to sell a home. So, Adam.com. It's a great aggregate of data that is very useful in certain cases. I've been exploring some of their articles this past week and very cool stuff. But that is really the truth, is that most people wait until the springtime that starts February 1st for in our industry. And then February, April, and May, we tend to see some of the highest premiums for homes. One, because people tend to get this renewed sense of new beginnings, starting over, springtime, and renewal. People want to start fresh in the springtime. So they are lots of buyers typically in the springtime out there looking and hustling for these properties. So you get bidding wars, you get these properties that, get sought after. Also, there tends to be some leftover properties from the wintertime where people don't want to list their properties and then they all come on at once, typically after February. So usually after Valentine's Day, you'll start to see property listings start to grow. But 13.1% premium is quite noticeable. So we are in May. That means that May is the top month for premiums when it comes to getting returns on your investment and selling that property quickly. Number two for this week was new home construction is expected to grow in 2024. This was on May 3rd, 2024, published by NAR. This article discusses how new home sales traditionally account for 10 to 12% of the single family market, but have surged to over 30%. Customizations, affordability, and avoiding renovation issues are top reasons for considering new builds. And it is the set it and forget it mentality. We have a whole group of people that don't want to deal with this old house and the builder mentality and just want to go and have the property move in ready. Have it really look like the properties they see on the Real Housewives of Potomac, or, really have these showroom ready homes that look like what they see on HGTV. The only way you'll get that effect now is new construction. So even though it is quite pricey, new construction has still, as you can see, been a great revenue builder for a lot of builders, and in certain areas they have not stopped. Some areas it has slowed down and the prices have really not evened out, I guess would be a good way to say it, in comparison to what the community is asking for, or has available at that time. Because remember, we can only take the prices of properties realistically to as far as the comparable properties in the area have gone in the past, because we look at properties like appraisers do. We look at them with the mentality that, hey, why is this property valued the way that it is? Why is this area valued the way that it is? And 30%. quite substantial, almost double. And that's what another psychological point that people are making a lot to me is that if they're going to spend the money, if they're going to spend a premium on the mortgage, why not buy something that's new? It's not a bad argument, honestly. So just do your due diligence, realize that everything comes with its pros and cons, and there are some unexpected things that can happen in new construction. But it's a great opportunity to have a brand new home and you're the first owner. So who doesn't love that? Number three, home sales start to rise, building momentum for 2024. This was May 3rd, published by NAR. The article highlights how the limited supply of resale homes has led to a significant increase in new home construction, which saw an 18% month over month surge in November 2023. Builders anticipate a 4% increase in starts for 2024. So a 4% increase is pretty healthy. That's what we like to see is something that's, at least on the way up. What we don't like to see is that number closer to the 1 to 2%. That is just, it's not enough as it is, and that's even less. But it's very noticeable that with the limited supply of resale homes, people are not leaving their properties that they were able to get during the pandemic. And this is where we have this golden handcuff effect that people are talking about, where these people bought during lockdown at incredibly low rates. And now, even if the property was overpriced or they don't even like it anymore, it doesn't even fit their needs because they were in a rush, they can't really sell because if they sell, they potentially can't purchase equal to or comparable property as the one that they had, which is kind of dicey and not really a smart move for the majority of people because you're going into a market that doesn't have a lot of options either. So you're going to be paying on a premium from potentially less home. That's why people feel arrested by their properties that they're in that they purchased during the pandemic. But we will see how this plays out because remember, we are only, I believe, about 2 to 3 years out from those effects. So we have still yet to see. On average, most people hold on to their properties anywhere from 7 to 15 years. So we will see. Number four, U.S. commercial foreclosures increase in March 2024. This is actually one of the biggest things that we've noticed is the commercial sector, how it has been changing. April 17th, 2024, released by Adam, this article discusses the steady rise in commercial foreclosures, which has increased from 141 in May 2020 to 625 in March 2024. The analysis indicates a significant uptick in foreclosures, signaling a potential area of concern for commercial real estate. And we're seeing that being echoed in a lot of the REITs on the stock exchange as they are being impacted when they are over leveraged or have a big exposure to commercial real estate. Also, we're seeing it with ETFs that have a big commercial real estate back, but hopefully we will start to see these things turn around. Potentially, some of these properties will change hands. It is still left to be seen. We have seen tons of sales locally here in Montgomery County for properties as of late for big commercial properties changing hands. So very interesting stuff as we're seeing new owners come in for properties that are relatively new. Number five, the three keys to watch, April 25th, 2024, published by Adam. This piece highlights inflation's influence on real estate, specifically focusing on the Federal Reserve's policy actions. It also discusses results the resulting impact on mortgage rates and debates surrounding inflation, interest rates, and the real estate market. They all go hand in hand. It is a triangle of monetary policy. And you can't really have one thing change without influencing the other two. So the Federal Reserve uses their policy to, in essence, gas up or put a brake on the economy. And one of the biggest pillars of the economy is the real estate market. And real estate truly only moves when people feel the desire to move. And the desire to move can be accelerated or it could be hindered by public sentiment and how the economy is going. Jobs lost, all these things, wages. That's the economy. So when the Federal Reserve policy action accelerates or decelerates the economy, it therefore impacts the real estate market because it impacts people and it impacts their day-to-day lives, how much money they're bringing in, how much money is going out, because in turn the Federal Reserve is trying to work on the economy. They're all interlinked there, and it's truly fascinating when you see these changes on a month-to-month basis as these reports are being let out. Number six, the weekly dirt shirt term rental friendly condos eating up more of Miami's housing pie. This was May 5th, 2024. Found in The Real Deal, this article discusses how short term rental friendly condominiums are becoming more prevalent in Miami, potentially causing a shortage of traditional housing units. It signals a shift in the housing landscape for both buyers and renters. Miami is truly a travel destination and a tourist location. So, with this happening, this is bound to have some implications for those that need to live in that area. I'm sure it's also going to cause plenty of other changes to the infrastructure, to the traffic, as well as to crime rates. So, very interesting to see how Airbnb and all these short term rentals are impacting the real estate landscape. But especially in an area like this that's so heavily trafficked, it could really be a game changer. We're also seeing something like this happen potentially in Las Vegas that's been heavily hurt by the post pandemic. It just has not been really recovering, and a lot of that market has really suffered. So we will see. I feel like I'm saying that for all these stories because they're all fluid stories. They're all kind of based on reports that all condense down more information. So it's always changing, and we're trying to analyze this information as much as possible, but it's all delayed because we actually need to get the numbers in, compile them, need to be analyzed, and then so it's all on a retrospective sort of take. But the best thing that we can do is stay informed and on top of it, because as soon as we see the pattern and we notice it, we can adjust and therefore help you. Number seven, Housing Wire selects VP account manager Brian Sandrib as 2024 Rising Star, April 29th, 2024. Congratulations. In this article, Adam recognizes Brian Sandrib for his leadership and innovation in real estate. It highlights emerging leaders shaping the future of the real estate industry with innovative ideas and strategies. Congratulations, Brian. It is truly now more than ever imperative that we innovate. As realtors, I plead all my colleagues to keep learning, keep growing, keep progressing. Don't rest on your laurels. I know I probably don't know the majority of you, probably not as successful as the majority of you, but if I can leave you with anything that I've learned in this industry for as much as it might be worth, is you got to keep learning. You can't just rest on your laurels and you can't just rest on your successes. And the innovations that we're going to be able to see in the next 5 to 10 years can really be groundbreaking, not just for ourselves and our own, benefit as realtors, but also impactful to the industry and impactful to the masses. We help people accomplish one of the biggest decisions of their whole lives, and some people never do this again. So I implore all of you to really take this job seriously and realize the implications of what you do. I know the majority of you will never hear this, but I hope that the few that do, or the buyers that do, or the renters that do, or anyone that does, know that there are realtors that care and there are realtors that don't. I would like to think that all realtors abide by the code of ethics, but you know, I'm hopeful that what's happening in our industry will weed out bad actors and people that are really just not been carrying their weight when it comes to holding up the values of what it means to be a good real estate professional, and more than anything the unprofessional people, to remove them. But I digress. Number 8. Profits for U.S. home sellers decline again in the first quarter of 2024. Adam reports on a continued decline in profits for U.S. home sellers due to falling median home prices. Profits margins dipped to 55% in quarter 1 2024, the lowest level in 2 years, indicating a shift in the market conditions. When profits start to change, that's when policy starts to be impacted and we start to change. So as we start to see the rest of the election year go on, it's going to be interesting to see how we see the economy continue to digest this information and price itself in. Number 9, top 10 housing markets for biggest quarterly increases in profit margins in Q1 2024. This was April 26, 2024. This article from Adam provides insights into the top 10 housing markets where profit margins for median priced single family homes and condos saw the largest quarterly increase in Q1 2024, despite the overall trend of falling profits. So these are great opportunities where we're still seeing those prices hit higher and higher highs. So great potential there for those investors that are willing to venture out of their comfort area. Number 10, Bay Bay Area apartments market slowly thawing this spring. Found in The Real Deal, this article reports on private equity and family offices investing in the Bay Area's multifamily housing sector as long-term owners cash out amidst a slowly improving market. So that is really something that we're seeing now more than ever. I made a TikTok earlier today talking about the future of real estate. And if you want a very good opportunity to make a lot of money in real estate, start buying properties and creating housing for the elderly, creating assisted living housing, and starting to develop these places where people that are older can be taken care of or can lease, because more than ever we're going to see a long-term cashing out, so to speak, of the people that were in charge, handing or passing over the torch, so to speak, to the next generation. And it might start very slowly. It's already started, but it's starting very slowly, and we'll start to see it increase and increase and increase and increase. It's going to be exponential. You know, I don't want to go too much further than that because you get into the numbers and it could be very overwhelming. But it goes enough to say that the more prepared you are for this transfer of wealth, the better that it will be. And there are tons of opportunities coming up in the next 10 years to make lots of money. So keep your eyes and ears open. Look for potential opportunities that might be underneath your nose, and don't question it. When you see a good idea, act on it, because you never know where it might take you. For those that are joining us late today, we are talking about the top real estate stories of the week. The stories for this week were best days to sell a home. That was from Adam. The number 2 was new home constructions is expected to grow in 2024. That was from NAR. Home sales start to rise, building momentum in 2024. That was again from NAR. US commercial foreclosures increase in March 2024. That is from Adam. The three keys to watch, again, a very good article by Adam. The weekly dirt short term rental friendly condos eat up more of Miami's housing pie. That was on The Real Deal. Housing Wire selects VP account manager Brian Sandrib as 2024 Rising Star. That was from Adam. And number 8, profits for U.S. home sellers decline again in first quarter of 2024. Another good one from Adam. And number 9, top 10 housing markets with biggest quarterly increases in profit margins in quarter 1 2024. Another Adam article. And last but not least, the Bay Area's apartment market slowly thawing this spring. And that was from The Real Deal. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me as we talk about the top real estate stories of the week. As always, it is my pleasure to hang out with you and talk about these stories and bring it a little bit more down to earth and out of the headlines and into the real world for you. I am your realtor, Hugo, licensed in Maryland. My name is Hugo Quintanilla. If you didn't know, my phone number 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com, and my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I will catch you all tomorrow for another live where we will be talking about another topic. And for tomorrow, it is going to be the home leasing process. So, very exciting. I have a lease that's still available over in Rockville, 801 Gale Avenue in Rockville, Maryland. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms for $3,400. Go ahead and check it out online. Google it and see what it actually would take to lease a property like this with me tomorrow. All right. Take care. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Get some rest and have fun out there. Stay happy. Happy Monday.